This is going to be a continuation of my earlier video that I did the installation on for the wireless charger in this thing, which is amazing. I can't believe this truck can actually park itself but doesn't have a wireless charger. Can you believe that? You can give you a back massage, shiatsu massage, phone charger, nowhere in sight. Unbelievable. Who can figure it out, right? Anyway, this is part 2 of my King Ranch installations, my new truck, and I'm going to put all my bells and whistles back in it like I used to have my old XLT. So my next order of business is going to be putting in my dash cam. So I've already got my 12 volts ran out, which I've already ran out from the passenger side, and that video, there's a link over there. It's so important that you watch that video, and I'll tell you why. These videos are designed for people to not make mistakes like the mistakes that an amateur can make, because you can easily screw up your truck like that. So please learn from a professional and watch that video, because it's so key, because without that video's knowledge, what I'm telling you here is not going to help you out one bit. Now, depending on the dash cam that you have purchased, this one here has a front camera and it also has a rear camera. So it's very important the placement that I put in the right spot, as well as keeping an idea of what's going on your windshield, because this one also has driver assistance built into it, so that way it has lane departure and accident collision avoidance and all kinds of other crazy stuff in there. So a lot of these things will come with a two-sided tape, which you have to mount up on the windshield before you permanently secure your device. What I suggest you do is take it, put it loosely onto the unit, line it up. When you find it perfectly, keep in consideration where your cord is, because you typically want the 90-degree cords like this one here to go where it's not going to be looking ugly and hideous. And if you can kind of like match other harnesses at all, if at all possible, that's definitely the way to go. So think about that before you run your cable down. So before you run your cable down, you're just going to have to get it, lay it the land, kind of like, you can see that these headliners, they have a little bit of flexibility there. So you're going to use that, run it guy over here, take this weatherproofing, you just basically pull it back. That's all there is to it. Just pull it with your hand, and that's going to give you the ability for a channel to run your wire from here straight down. And typically on most cars you'll have a side panel, an access panel that's removable, or you can tuck it between that kick panel, whatever. You'll see how I do it in a second. So on this one here, my 90-degree cord kind of comes out on my left, so I'm just going to take that. Always put a little bit of extra slack up in the headliner so that we can service it later on down the road if you need to. Just basically use your fingers. Just run it around. If you need a little help, you can take a little plastic tool and tuck it in there, make it look real pretty, like that. There you go. And the rest of the way down, depending on your vehicle, you can tack onto existing harnesses, or you can just tuck it in real with your finger like that. Or in this case, this one here actually has an airbag, which I'm just going to use and just go straight down. So by the way, these are the tools that I use when I'm running wires through these panels like this. This here is called the cotter pin extractor. It's also known as a hook tool. One of my favorites. You just take it in there and just go right around these panels. It's terrific. The only bad news is that if you're really not careful, you can really do some damage with this bag. This is a tool you must have. For $6, man, you got to have one. This thing here, you can get these things like cheap for next to nothing. This is probably a lot more safer for the average person. You can see, like on this panel, just get right in there. But when you use these more abrasive tools, like this guy here, bad things can happen. But you see, like this, my access panel, your vehicle, of course, may and probably will be different, of course. But this is going to give me the ability to run this thing down. I'm going to go in there, and again, my vehicle comes apart by hand. There's my access panel. That's when I'm going to tuck my wires in and make my connections to 12 volts. Last part of my installation, I'm going to take my wires that I ran previously from in the wireless charger, connect these to a device like this. Now your installation does not have to be like this. I know this thing ain't the most prettiest thing. It's actually kind of ghetto looking, but for people like me with trucks, you could use this stuff for trailer accessories, strobe kits, lights. There's a lot of different things that I'll use this thing for, and it gives me a quick accessory outlet. And I got plenty of room under my dashboard, so you're not going to see it. So who the hell cares, in my opinion? I'm going to take this, connect this to this, and then this will go like this, and this gets buried up underneath the dashboard to the left where I got plenty of space. Take a couple wire ties. This is called a wire tie right here. Just take this, mount it up securely up out of the way, and then you got a key accessory. Dash cam is installed. Life is good. Now here you can see I got my accessory plugged into my 3-way auxiliary port there. Put the key on. There you go. What a joy, huh? Key on, goes on, key off, it's off. That's the way we want things to work. And by the way, if you actually have any questions about wiring schematics information, wiring around CAN bus, trying to find a safe connection, or if you're concerned about how a certain part of an installation works, or maybe you just feel like, you know, I could really use somebody who knows better than I do, you're welcome to give me a question. I try to help people out to the best of my ability. I know I can't answer every single person in the world, but I do my best to help as many people as I can, and that's really the purpose of what I do here in this channel. I'm here to try to help people. That's what I do, you know. So if you got a question, send it my way.